Hey, what's up, everybody? I finally get the chance to discuss my review and reaction to the Han Solo Star Wars movie. As you can see by the Stormtrooper shirt, we're about to see it today. I would say after the disaster that was the last Jedi, which in my personal opinion was quite insulting for a 40th anniversary Star Wars film, but I would say Han Solo was actually much better because it was lighter in tone and not as dark, and you kind of get to wonder how Han became the infamous smuggler that he became, and of course the film does provide some answers, like including his background in Corellia, where he was from, and then of course you get to find out how Han acquired the Millennium Falcon from Lando, and those infamous, golden dice that, Luke gave to Leia in The Last Jedi, even though I personally don't remember seeing it in the previous movies. And of course, how he got his infamous blaster, and of course, how he managed, to do the Kessel Run in 12 parsecs, which, he, of course, Han Solo was known to famously brag about in the Star Wars, movies. I would say, in terms of the Han Solo movie, I mean, the guy that plays him, Aiden Aldenwright, who was known for his roles in, you know, Rules Don't Apply, and of course, Beautiful Creatures, and the Hail Caesar movie. I mean, I would say surprisingly he does a pretty good, job with the role. Even though, in my personal opinion, I probably would have casted someone that looked more like a younger Harrison, Ford to play the part, and of course Don Glover, who plays the younger Lando Calrissian, looks more like Billy D. Williams, and also does a good job in the movie. And of course, one of the cool things about it, was you finally get to see how is it that Han Solo and Chewbacca met, and of course, became best friends, which was something that people wondered for like over 40 years, which the original trilogy didn't really go into much answers. And of course, you get to see other new characters, including Tobias Beckett, which is like a mentor of sorts to Han Solo, and then you get to see Kira, who of course played by Amelia Clark from the Game of Thrones, and kind of like a childhood friend of Han Solo's and things like that. And of course, I won't give it away, but you kind of see a surprise Star Wars, character from the, from the prequel trilogies. But that's all I'm gonna say. Um, I know people are kind of like wondering how is it that Han Solo was kind of proved to be somewhat of a box office disappointment with 103 million opening, which of course was lower than the 155 million from the Rogue One and the 220 million opening weekend from Last Jedi. But of course, it has to do with that one coming out just a mere 5 months after the poor reception that the Last Jedi received. I would say, in terms of like what I would give the rating for the film, I would probably say like an 8 out of 10 if I had to go by a rating system, because it's actually quite enjoyable. I mean, even though the pacing is a little off, and it kind of slows down in the middle of the movie, but it's rather enjoyable and nice to watch, and anything that gets that horror nightmare of Last Jedi off my mind. So that would be my particular take on the Han Solo movie. I mean, I know some other people who are probably also big fans of the Star Wars, franchise might have their own different opinions on it, but I would definitely, recommend seeing it, since you finally get some backstory into Han's character. I would just say, me personally, if they were to do more of the spin-offs, I would like to see something that takes place after the events of Return of the Jedi, and kind of fill in the gaps, between that and Force Awakens, which is something I prefer if they were to do the standalone, stories, or at least have it tie into the main, franchise somehow, like Rogue One did. Alright, everyone, thanks for watching, and I look forward to sharing whatever else comes in mind. Okay, thanks.